Hey everyone, Don here. Today we're going to be talking about World Tiers and Capstone Dungeons, specifically World Tier 3 and the Capstone Dungeon for World Tier 2 that you need to complete in order to access World Tier 3. Alright, let's get into it. So getting started in the game, everyone starts out with the choice of World Tier 1 or World Tier 2, respectively named Adventurer for World Tier 1 or Veteran for World Tier 2. But keep in mind that if you're planning to play with friends or your boyfriend or girlfriend or something, that you must be in the same World Tier to party up. So just keep that in mind when choosing which difficulty you want to dive into. If you're starting out on World Tier 2, you're going to be getting more experience and gold, and it's quite significant at 20% more experience and 15% gold increase, so it's definitely something to consider. Monsters will also be more challenging. For people familiar with past Diablo games or RPGs in general, I suggest going straight to World Tier 2. You'll only benefit from the extra gold and XP, especially if you're topping that off with the 5% XP boost from elixirs. It's hard to remember to keep elixirs on all the time, especially with the buff icons being so small and so far below your character, but if you can remember to keep them on, it really helps over the course of leveling. I almost wish there was the ability to scale or move the icons a bit to improve visibility and not have to take your eyes so far off your character in the action, especially in hardcore, where a split-second wrong decision can mean the end of your character. For newer players coming into the Diablo universe for the first time, though, World Tier 1 is perfect to ease into learning about the game and the world, and also just enough of a challenge to test new players' patience at times. Remember that you're able to change the World Tier difficulty at any time from the character select menu, but this can also be done at the World Tier statue in Kyovashad. Upon starting the game, you're capped at World Tier 2, so for those seeking a challenge, you'll have to wait until the end of the campaign to be able to access the Capstone Dungeon for World Tier 2 called the Cathedral of Light. Once you get to the Cathedral of Light, you'll have to fight your way through the Knights Penitent. If you don't know who they are yet, don't worry, you're introduced to them fairly early on. This dungeon is going to be significantly harder than those you've been accustomed to while leveling and is an awesome pinnacle challenge to unlock the next world tier. I ran most of this dungeon solo as a barbarian before my girlfriend joined me on her sorceress, and some recommendations I have for this dungeon are to most importantly, apply the elixir of manslaying if you can make it, and try to have 2 or so on you, as this dungeon can take a while. If you're having trouble killing the elites, just focus on the mobs around them, then use some ability to get away from the pack after you lighten up their numbers, and return to town to re-up on potions before going back in. This way you can whittle down the groups and effectively get through the dungeon. Separating the elites from the packs as often as possible really helped me, because getting stunned with the additional mobs around quite often equaled death for me. And lastly, bring a teammate if you can. It helps so much. If you don't have anyone, you can always ask in general chat or join some of the awesome Diablo Discord communities to find people to play with. So once you work your way through the campaign and complete that World Tier 2 Capstone Dungeon, you'll have access to World Tier 3. And this is where things get a little extra awesome. You'll now have access to 100% extra experience and 15% additional gold. But also, uniques will start to drop and sacred tier items. And man, do uniques look awesome when they drop. It's super satisfying. Sacred items are considerably better Nightmare World Tier items that have improved stats over their regular legendary versions. Items that drop in World Tier 3 or Nightmare are only a chance to have the sacred affix, but it's such a nice sight when you get one, and they're easy to spot because of the glowing crescent halo type outline around the item graphic in your inventory. Unique items also have a chance to drop in World Tier 3, and you 100% won't miss them because they have an absolutely magnificent beam that's a bit cream colored with the aura swirling all up around the main beam that shoots up into the sky. It's ridiculously awesome, and I can't wait to see what ancestral drops look like. There are also Nightmare Dungeons. You can access them by finding a Nightmare Sigil. Nightmare Sigils will only start dropping in World Tier 3, and they can drop from Hell Tides or in your regular RNG loot, but the game hasn't dropped me one, so I haven't got to do a Nightmare Dungeon yet. You can also craft Nightmare Sigils, but you have to find one first, and then you're going to get a quest from the Occultist to go and complete something for them, and then you'll be able to start crafting Nightmare Sigils, which go all the way up to tier 100. Helltides also start to appear across Sanctuary, which are insanely fun in my opinion. They spawn randomly and take over entire sections of zones, where you'll fight an abundance of demons and collect aberrant cinders that you'll spend on chests called Tortured Chests of Protection, Jewelry, Weaponry, or Mysteries that are spread throughout the region taken over by the Helltide. Champion monsters also start to spawn. These are mobs that are not quite as strong as elites, but are definitely stronger than regular mobs. They will have damage resistance auras that make chopping through them a bit more of a challenge. It's awesome. You'll also notice a lot more champion mobs in Helltides as well. Lastly, all monsters in World Tier 3, aka Nightmare, will overcome 20% resistance, meaning, for example, if you have 20% lightning resistance and you come up against a lightning-based monster, you will effectively have 0 lightning resist. This is effectively the same system as Diablo 2, where when you went into Nightmare and Hell difficulty, your resistances would go into the negative, meaning you'd need just that much more resistances to be effective at all. That's pretty much it for what to expect going into World Tier 3, which will take you from approximately level 50 to 70. After that, you can expect to do the same thing to gain entry into World Tier 4, which is to beat the Capstone Dungeon before moving on. The Capstone Dungeon for World Tier 3 is the Triune Temple. Just a little backstory on the significance of the Triune Temple to the lore. The Temple of the Triune, also known as the Cult of the Three or the Cult of the Triune, was a cult that existed during the time of the Sin War. Whilst outwardly a benevolent religious body, in reality it was formed by the primevals to convert humanity to their side, and at some point after Malthael's death, the group re-emerged. I haven't had the chance to go into the temple yet, but I can absolutely say it's going to be a healthy challenge, and I'm so looking forward to it. In World Tier 4, which will take you from approximately level 70 to level 100, we can expect the next tier of items, which are going to be ancestral items, and a broader range of unique items. On top of the 100% experience boost from World Tier 3 and the additional 15% gold, monsters here, though, will overcome 40% resistance. That's all the world tiers in the game so far, but a data miner named Datamine ARPG released a short article today with some details that strongly suggest there may be a World Tier 5 coming. The Datamine shows what they are calling official artwork of the next ranks of gems and speculates stat percentages increases across all gems, as well as offers up some unconfirmed names for future ranks of gems. There seems to be no hint at a name for rank 6 of a gem, and this is unconfirmed, but based on the article, the name for rank 7 of a gem will be Magnificent and rank 8 will be Perfect, as well as pointing out that there seems to be already a marker placeholder for what may be the location of the Capstone Dungeon. Mention of World Tier 5 is news to me as the information just came out today, so who knows how correct it will be, if at all. But if I had to speculate, I would say that this is only the tip of the iceberg with data mining and where information leaks and stuff like that are going to take us. Obviously, we know already, like, the game is coming out with 2 expansions, and I think that this was a surprise to everybody to not only get information on some new gems and stuff like that, but get information on a supposed World Tier 5. The data miner went on to make like a tier or ranking system for how confident they were in the stat increases as you increase the gem ranks. So if you're a serious meta player, there might be information to take from here to plan for the next or for the coming season, season 1, I guess. Or you might take this into hardcore and plan for your hardcore character. Like, who knows? But honestly, to get this much information on the 7 different gems there are is absolutely awesome. There is going to be so much speculation on this, honestly. I can't wait to see what kind of theories that people come up with. And like I said, this is only the tip of the iceberg. Diablo's only just started, so we're going to have years of speculation to come. And I'm really excited. I'm honestly super excited about all of this. Who knows where it's going to take us, but I'm really looking forward to seeing if this kind of speculation comes true, if the gems will be called, Magnificent and Perfect at rank 7 and 8, and if we find out what rank 6 is going to be called, and also what the Capstone Dungeon is going to be for World Tier 4 going into a potential World Tier 5. And honestly, if that's going to be something that is going to have to wait until an expansion, who knows? But it's awesome to wonder about it. So nevertheless, it's super exciting to speculate about another World Tier and all the goodies that come along with it. If this is your first time hearing the news about World Tier 5, I'd love to know what you think about it. And if this video helped you out with World Tiers or Capstone Dungeons in general, please drop a comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and check the description for my live stream where you can join me in playing Diablo daily, and I'll see you in the next one.